Hey guys, Hella Bella, and in this video I'm going to be giving you 10 tips for making videos for the Amazon Influencer Program. I have made over 100 videos now for this program. I've made $125-ish profit in my first month, and I've learned so much in such a short amount of time, and I want to give back to you guys and share what I've learned with you. A lot of these tips are to do with how to show the product and how to describe the product, basically how to get your video to rank ahead of everyone else's. And as I've been going back on all the Amazon listings, I'm noticing that mine are showing up first, even though there were several competitors on the Amazon listing, because quite frankly, some of the videos were just not very high quality to begin with. They were not giving the potential customer any information. They were just kind of showing the product. And so I think it's very important that we consider that the point of making these videos, aside from us making money, obviously, is that we give value to the Amazon customer to convert the sale. So with that being said, these are my 10 tips. And the last tip, if you stick around, is going to be exactly how I talk about the product. So tip number 1 is going to be establish your systems first. Before you get started in this and you get into a chaotic mess, you should know your processes. So for me, that looks like deciding which products I'm going to review, getting them all together, pulling the ASINs, putting the ASINs on my spreadsheet, and also to think about where I'm going to film. Like if I was going to film right here, I want products that make sense to film right here. So I can film something small like this in this context. Sometimes I film in my bathroom if I'm doing makeup review products because I've got like a little light in my bathroom. But you want to decide things like that ahead of time because it's much easier to batch upload these videos. Okay, so in terms of my spreadsheet, this is what I keep on my spreadsheet: the product name, the ASIN, the price, and the day that I uploaded it, as well as my affiliate link. So the reason that I'm keeping up with all of this is to see the products that I've already reviewed. I feel like it's important to have that. So that's the first thing in my process, is just getting ready to film the content. So when it comes to filming, I try to stick to 1 to 4 minutes of footage, and then I'll cut that footage down to 1 to 2 minutes because you really want to cut out all the ums and ahs. If you notice watching this video, you won't see a lot of dead air. That was dead air. I don't know why, it just, in our fast-paced brains, we no longer want to see that. And so cutting is really the most important part of editing your videos, in my opinion, and also keeping them short. The less footage that you shoot, the less footage you're going to have to edit. And trust me when I say that the editing time adds up on those videos, even if they are only a couple of minutes long. If you're trying to do 7 or 10 at a time, you will be at your computer or on your phone for a very long time. So keep your footage short and sweet. The next tip I have is to show how the product will fit into a person's life. So for instance, I just recently reviewed our shower caddy. We had to get a new one because ours broke, and I thought, well, this is the perfect opportunity to do a product review for this product that I know I'm already going to buy. So once we got it put up, I showed all of our shower stuff in it with a nice display, and I talked about how much better it was going to be for us now that we got all this stuff organized, how we have more room now, and we're actually going to have more room in our shower. So I'm making the experience like this is how it related to me, this is how it changed my life in a way, whether it was adding convenience to my life or a way to level up your life or organize your space. You basically want to appeal to the customer, like how can they get this product and change their life with it. A lot of marketing is just appealing to someone either logically or emotionally. So we have a lot of reasons why we buy things, but for the most part, if I'm buying something on Amazon, it's either because I need it for practical use or because I feel like I just want it. It's going to make me better. It's going to make me happy. It's going to make me look good. Any of those reasons could be a reason why someone would spend money on Amazon. So think about that when you are trying to appeal to the customer. My next tip is for you to talk about how long you've had the product. How long have you been using it? Can you make a 6-month update? Can you make a 1-year update, a 5-year update? People love to see the product performing over time. If you go and look at some of the product reviews on Amazon, a lot of them, the person came back to edit their review, especially like they'll be like 1 year later, this product is still working, or 1 year later, it's not working anymore. So I think it's really important that when you can show something like that, that you do, because what it does is it builds credibility. So if I tell you, We've had this lawnmower for 3 years. We use it twice a month and it continues to work year after year. You're definitely going to feel better about buying that product. Building credibility, saying how long you've used something really does seem to help. I reviewed a speaker and I've actually had that speaker for 4 years. So I was able to talk about the product with confidence, because everyone knows in order to be a good salesperson, you kind of need to believe in what you're selling. My next tip is to compare the product to products in a similar category. So for example, I was reviewing foundation. I talked about the foundation compared to a couple other ones that I had used, and I didn't really specifically name names. I just said, like, I prefer this over some of the other foundations. This is like a higher end foundation, basically giving a little bit of comparison to let the customer know how that product stacks up against other products that are in a similar category. You could say something along the lines of, I used blank before and I didn't have good results, but this one is much better quality. So even if you're talking about like a set of knives, you could say, like, my old set of knives was like dulling and it was the design was flaking off the side and it was just, you know, the quality wasn't there, but I've had these knives for a year now and they don't have any of those problems. So basically kind of telling the customer, like, this product is better than another product. You don't necessarily have to say that, but you're alluding to the fact that the quality is there where it might not be somewhere else if they chose to buy a different product. I think it's important to remember that you are convincing the customer to buy it. You don't want to convince the customer of anything else. You don't want to give them anything negative to think about. So just keep that in mind. I know even with me, I am a devil's advocate sometimes, and I can always see the bad in something. So this has been a transition for me to be able to describe things like in the best light possible. So you just want to focus on the product features, like what is the product good at? Okay, so when it comes to giving details, I wrote that you should give relevant product details. What I mean by that, do not just sit there and read the back of this. That is so boring and the customer is going to click off the video. Things that are relevant to me would be key ingredients, fragrance, if it has a taste, the material, for instance, if it's wood or metal or plastic. If it's a liquid, how much is it? For instance, this one is 2.9 ounces. The quantity of how many you're getting and how long something should last. For instance, I might say this usually lasts me about 6 weeks. So giving relevant details, not giving every little thing. So I could say, this product is vegan, or I like using this product because it's cruelty free. This is an ethically sourced product, whatever, American made product. You want to talk about things that you think are going to appeal to people. You don't want to sit there and give them so much information that their brain is fried. So focus on relevant details. The next tip I have is give the customer an idea of how much space something takes up. So obviously we all know how big a can of Coke is, so this is how much it is compared to that. Now I don't mean literally do this, but for instance, I had a set of knives that I reviewed, and so I showed them next to an apple because I was about to cut the apple in the video. So I was like, this is the scale of how big it is. This is how much room it would take up. For instance, if it's a piece of furniture or something like that, you do want to show the context of it in the room. In that case, it does make sense to kind of show a wider angle and to give the customer an idea of what exactly the product is going to look like and how much room it's going to take up in their home. I don't usually provide measurements because measurements are pretty much in every listing description. So that's something that I don't feel like adds a lot of value for the customer because they can just find that information on their own. My next tip is to show your personality. So don't be like stiff and like a robot. Don't read a script or anything like that. You want it to feel like it's a regular person giving a review. Pretend that you're telling a friend about this product. Pretend that you're telling like your neighbor or somebody you know, like, hey, I just bought this. It's really good. You know, I was not expecting it to do this, but it actually does that, and it does even more than that. Just kind of try to be relatable. And if you're already doing influencing, you know that like there's a fine line between being relatable, being fake, and being like performative. So I just say, like, walk the line of that as best you can. I mean, obviously all of the videos that I do are edited, so whenever you guys watch something, I edit out the crappy parts. So I would just say try and stick to yourself, find a personality, find your voice, and that will come out in your reviews. So I have been approved now for 42 days. I've made around $125, and I now have over 100 videos uploaded. I have 116 uploaded, and let me tell you, I'm going on vacation next month. I need the vacation. I was not expecting this to be like such an involved thing. To be honest with you, I didn't realize all that it was going to be. And now that I'm seeing it, it's definitely a money over time, long game type of thing. It's not something that you're going to get rich quick off of. This is a sustainable thing, but you need to put into it what you want to get out of it. So if you just have 40 reviews up and you're like, why am I not making money? Don't even talk to me. Don't even comment. Like, you should make at least 100 videos before you even start to worry about how much money you're making, because it's a scalable thing. Like, the more real estate that you take up on Amazon, the higher the chance of you being able to sell something. I'm going to make another video about how I find products to review, but obviously if you just look around your house, there's stuff everywhere. Like, go through your kitchen, go through your bathroom, go through all of your furniture. For instance, like, this is my makeup bag. Inside my makeup bag is like so many products that I could potentially review. I've got makeup palettes, I've got brushes, I've got mascaras, I've got lip gloss. I've already sold one of these and earned a commission on it. I've got concealer, I've reviewed that. I've got setting spray, I've got some Clinique foundation, I've already reviewed that. So, I mean, this probably has like 15 or 20 products in this alone. Your first 100 videos should be about you finding your style and you figuring out your process. It shouldn't necessarily be about making the most amount of money the fastest. When you are new at something, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're probably gonna suck for a little while. It's just the nature of it. I'm used to talking to a camera, but even now I still get so nervous that I have to pause sometimes and just stop the video, take a breath, and then go back to it, because sometimes I'm just talking too fast and I'm talking a million miles an hour and I don't even know what I'm talking about. So just make sure that you cut that stuff out. I can't emphasize that anymore. Like, if you don't do anything else in terms of editing, make sure that you cut out everything that's not relevant. Don't add in any pauses. Like, if you're showing the product, try to always make sure that you're talking in the video. Show yourself in the video. I think that these videos do better. Personally, for me, I don't feel like the person has as much credibility if they're not showing their face. I also think that if you're a moderately attractive person, it's gonna help you. So just put your face in the video. Like, I'm not like a 10, but as long as you're a girl, I feel like you're gonna get some clicks for that. And if you're a halfway decent looking guy, or if you have charisma, like, I just feel like that goes a long way. In terms of the products that I'm reviewing, I am not specializing in one thing or the other. I'm just doing what comes across my desk. I'm not really planning any great strategy. What I do usually is I find things from discount stores. I mean, you really don't even need to do that, because you could keep yourself busy with the things in your house for a really long time. This product is $34 on Amazon, but I found it at my local thrift store for $3. It was sealed and it was not expired. Somebody just donated it. And so I was able to get it basically for 90% off and review it, and now every time that sells, I'll make a commission on that. I will make a separate video about that pretty soon, about how I decide what to review and kind of just weighing the pros and cons of different things, different product price points, and is it worth your time if there's a ton of people on the listing. If you're interested in that, just subscribe, because I'll be coming up with some follow-up content soon. I'm also going to put my Amazon storefront in the description below so that you can check it out. That is where all of my videos are. You can literally watch every single video I've made if you want to study that, or if you just want to see like what some of my thumbnails look like. That is a great way to check it out, and you will also be supporting me, because if you click through that link, I will earn a commission. Okay, last tip. This is how I talk about the product. So if you use the product in a different way than what's intended, you can talk about that. If you have a tip for using the product, for example, if you know that a certain thing works better if you use it this way, tell the customer that. Tell them like, hey, when I was installing this or when I was setting this up, I noticed that the instructions said blank, but it's actually this. So solve the problem for them, anticipate what their concerns may be, and give them any information that can help them along the way. A major format that I use is, I had this problem, this product solve the problem. So you need to find a way to convey that. You need to say like, if you have blank, blank, and blank, then you need this product. This product can help solve blank, blank, blank problem. And I found that after I bought this product, I no longer had this problem. You get what I'm saying, is that the product is the solution to the customer's problem. So figuring out the pain point. So if you have something like, for example, I reviewed a back pain thing, and I talked about my back pain and how it helps. So talking about a pain point and how the product solves the pain for you. Talking about a thing that's annoying. For example, if you buy an organizer, then you're no longer going to be annoyed when you're trying to find something because you're now going to be organized. Does the product save you time? So is the product something that is really fast compared to something that you've had to use before? Does the product make your life easier? Does the product enhance the quality of life that you have? Like I reviewed pillowcases the other day, and they literally do enhance the quality of my life. Like they are so much better than my old pillowcases because they're silk, and now my hair is not as frizzy when I wake up in the morning, and my pillow stays cool all night. And so I'm just trying to show you guys, like, talk about things that are obvious that the customer would care about. Don't just sit there and just like go on and on and on. Keep the video concise. Give the relevant information. Try to make it as engaging as possible. Remember that people like cuts. So if you cut as much as possible, I think that keeps the viewer engaged. If you keep showing different types of footage, if you have an overlay, so if you show the product like top to bottom, like try to get it like in the frame, then show it close up, then pull back, just kind of like everything that you can do to make the video more engaging and to show the product. Make sure if you're reviewing a product that you're holding it up, especially if you're making a video like this. Make sure you're holding it up. You don't have to like hold it right to the screen, but just be like, you know, just kind of have it in your hand, playing with it a little bit, because that makes the customer know that you have it. You just want to keep the product the focus of the video, because if you start rambling and you're talking about something not relevant, that means that the customer is going to click off. They're possibly not going to buy the product, and that's also going to hurt your metrics, because Amazon is looking at how long people stay on your videos. So I think right now my videos have like a 53% rating of how long people stay on. It's really about cutting out the fluff. Even if you have an extra 2 seconds on the end of a video, like when you end it, make sure you shave that off, because if that's 2 seconds in a 1 minute video, those seconds add up when Amazon is looking at, okay, whose videos did people stay on the longest? Did they stay on this video 80% of the time or 50% of the time? So just consider that when you are editing. Okay, I think I've talked too much because I'm really tired, and I'm just thinking about the fact that I still have my own videos to make. I've bought a couple of things today that I was already going to buy for our household personally, but I was thinking like, oh, pretty much all of these are sold on Amazon. So just think like that. Try to think about, like, if you are buying something and you're buying like one or the other and they're the same price, buy the one that's sold on Amazon, because then you can make another review video on it. Okay guys, I have another video that I'd like to make about creator connections. I did make my first connection, and so I'm going to be talking about that soon. Make sure that you guys subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope these tips were helpful. Take care.